Hello, it's James Shipley, and in the background we've got Mike Jubb from Active Training World. We're here to give you the race brief for the Grafman triathlon, which is going to take place on the 6th of June here at Grafman Water. We picked a nice sunny day for it, no wind. We do have a guy cutting the grass for us over here though, so apologies if you hear some of that in the background noise, but they're just making sure that the venue is absolutely stunning for you when you arrive. Okay, so we'll take you from the beginning. We'll talk you through from when you do actually arrive. Behind me here is a car park, and just to confuse you, we're not going to get you to park in the car park. What we're going to do is park all the competitors in the overflow car park, and we'll explain why, because basically the run course is going to go through where the overflow car park is. We didn't want all the competitors filling up the main car park, and then later on any of you members of the public coming in having to park in the overflow car park. They'll be cutting across the run course, so we thought it'd be much better to manage it so that all the competitors are in the overflow car park and you understand where the race is going, so you'll be able to leave the venue nice and safely. Okay, so the parking is normally £6 to park all day at Grafman Water, but the venue's very kindly said that you could pay just £5 instead. So when you arrive, you'll get a ticket at the machine as you enter into Grafman Water. You'll make your way all the way through the car park, out this little gate behind me. I'll see if you can see it here. So just at the edge of the car park here, you see this little gate. You'll make your way up that path, and this is where the run course is going to cut across last time. You see this, it's almost like the yellow brick road, isn't it? It's going to follow all the way through, and this is where the cars will have to cross to get into the overflow car park. So when you leave the venue after your race, just be aware that you are going to come across the run course at that point. So just make sure you keep all of your fellow competitors safe. Okay, so there'll be parking marshals in place. They'll be telling you where to park, but you're basically going to come across and then park on the left-hand side. We've got all these fields area over here. This is where all the parking is going to be. Loads and loads of space over here. So it'll be absolutely fine. And so like I say, you'll get a ticket as you first walk in. And then when you get down to registration, you'll be given another ticket with your reg pack. So you'll have 2 parking tickets, and the second one is basically your discount. And then when you leave at the end of the day, you go to the machines, you put both tickets in, and that'll give you the parking for £5 instead of the £6 day rate. Okay, so after you've parked up, you're going to make your way down to registration, and I'll walk down there now. Got Mike's walking with me as well.
Hi guys.
Mike's actually done this event before himself in the past, so he'll be able to give you a couple of little tips, I'm sure, as we talk you through this this race brief. But it's an absolute stunning venue, this one, and we'll take you down to the water in a second. We've been down to have a look at it this morning. It's crystal clear, the water, and it's they've actually put in a little beach area for you as well, so you're going to have a nice beach entrance into the water. And as we're going to explain in a little while, this is going to have an Australian style swim. So basically you're going to do one lap, come out, and then you're going to actually run across that beach where you'll be given loads and loads of applause, and then you'll be diving straight back into the water again for your second lap. So it's going to be great down there on the beach area for the race. It's going to be a really exciting part of the race. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Okay, so I'll talk you through the registration now, just before we get to that registration area, and then I'll point out exactly where it is. But when you turn up, you're going to give your name to the marshals at the registration desk, and they'll give you a reg pack. Inside that reg pack, you'll have 2 race numbers. One needs to go on your back for your bike, and one needs to go on your front for the run. Most triathletes tend to wear a race belt, and so all you will do is you just attach one number to the race belt, and you'll spin it round so it's on your back for the bike leg, and you spin it round to the front for your run leg. Also be safety pins in there, and there'll be 2 stickers, one that you'll need to attach to your bike and one that you'll need to attach to your helmet. And when you leave the transition area, those stickers still need to be on so that we know what's to make sure that the bike and the helmet belongs to you. At registration as well, there'll be a permanent marker, and you'll need to write your race number on your hand. We'll also have some sanitising wipes and hand gels down there as well, so that we can wipe the pens down after use. Okay, so we're at the registration area now. So it's the registration area. Once you've walked through this at the end of the old yellow brick road, it comes into a normal path and into another field. And behind me here, this is where all the registration's going to be. And the transition area and all this sort of stuff. You'll start seeing the whole event village down here. There'll also be portable toilets. There'll be loads of tables set up with hand sanitizers and all that sort of stuff, so make sure that you do all of those sort of things. We'll detail all that in the race information for you as well. So the race is going to start at 7 o'clock, so we're going to open the registration area up about 5:30. So make sure you arrive in plenty of time to get yourself all racked up. It will close at 6:45, the transition area, so make sure that you're literally ready to go at that point. And then we have the water behind us here. So what we are going to allow everybody to do is be able to just nip into the water. So we're going to give you about 10 minutes if anyone wants to sort of flush their wetsuit and just get acclimatised to the water. But at 5 to 7, we're going to make sure everybody is out of the water. So you only have about 10 minutes just to get yourself used to the water. We'll get you out of the water, and then we're going to line you up based on your estimated swim start time. So we'll have lots of signs in place that could say you can do X time, 30 minutes, whatever it is, 35 minutes. So you'll stand in groups, socially distanced of course, depending on what your estimated swim time, and then we'll bring you up in smaller groups from there, and then line you up on a queuing system to enter the water one at a time in a time trial start. And I'll to walk you over to there actually, just so you can see this nice beach area that they've created for us. Okay. So it's just down here. There'll be a big, huge Zone 3 arch that you'll start under. Zone 3 is one of our very kind sponsors, so they've given a big, huge swim start arch, and you're going to love it, by the way. It's a really unique swim arch. I won't say too much more about it, but you wait till you see it on race morning. It's pretty special. Okay, so this is this beach area here. Look at this, absolutely fantastic. And I'll show you the water as well, just so you can see it's absolutely crystal clear down here. Look at this. Okay, and then one of the questions we get asked all the time is, what is the temperature of the water? So bear in mind, we've only got a small thermometer here, but Mike's going to put it in the water now. This is obviously just at the edge of the water. We're not going to go out there on a boat just to get the water today, but I'll take it down here so you can see it's on the water's edge at the moment, 14.9 degrees. Okay, so 14.9 degrees. We know that's on the edge of the water. The edge of the water is going to obviously be a little bit warmer than further out. But we've also got a week of absolutely cracking weather ahead of us. So if anything, we expect it to warm up. The rules on wetsuits is if it's below 14 degrees, then wetsuits are compulsory. Above 14 degrees, they are optional, so you can choose whether you wear a wetsuit or not. We won't be taking the temperature again now until race morning. So on race morning, we'll take the temperature, and then you'll be advised at registration what the temperature of the water is and whether it's an optional wetsuit swim or a compulsory wetsuit swim. Okay, so make sure you just bring one anyway, and then you've given yourself the option. Okay, so the swim, like I said, we'll queue up behind me in this field area, and you'll have the cones leading up to the beach, and then this is your swim course there. Out there, so you're going to do 2 laps of 850 meters in a triangular course. 2 laps of 950 meters, so it totals 1900 in total. It's 350 meters roughly to the first buoy, 200 meters across to the second buoy, and then 350 meters back to the beach. You then do that, like I mentioned, that Australian swim exit. So at the end of your first lap, you'll actually run out of the water, you'll run along the beach, and then you'll go straight back into the water again and out to that first swim buoy. Okay, so when you're out on the water, if you do get yourself into any trouble, what you need to do is lie on your back and put one arm in the air, and that will signify one of the kayakers to come over to you. For that reason, we don't allow backstroke for our swimming. So front crawl or breaststroke only. Otherwise, you might find a kayaker give you a little tap on the head and trying to haul you into their kayak. If you don't want during your race. Okay, so once you finish your swim, you'll come across, you'll leave the beach area, come off into this grass area, and you'll head into the transition area. One of the rules in triathlon is that you're not supposed to touch your bike until your helmet is on and secured. So make sure you do that first before you start mucking around with trying to get your bike off the rack and all that sort of thing. So helmet on, secured, bike rack on, make sure your number is on your back, and then you head out onto the bike course. So if you have done this race before, Mike's done this one before, and we are changing the way that we take them out onto the bike. So there's a different exit, so basically it's going to avoid the car park, so you don't need to go out through the car park as you have done in previous years. but it'll be well signed and marshalled, so you don't need to worry about it too much. But perhaps take a look at it on race morning if you've done this event before, just so you can see what the difference is. So as you're out on the bike course, after about 2.5 miles, about 4k, that sort of thing, you'll get to a village where there's a turnaround point. Once you do the turnaround point, come back down the path, and there's basically going to be 4 out and back sections of the bike course. So the first one is after about sort of 2.5 miles, 4k. Then you go out onto the second one, and about 9k into that one, there's a foot down point. So a foot down point, if you haven't heard of one of these before, is you need to bring your bike to a complete stop and have, so both wheels need to stop moving, and you put one foot on the floor, and then you make the decision on when it is safe to pull out. And it's Mike's just telling me it's a right hand turn, and that's why we've got a foot down point, just for your safety. So the marshal will be saying, you'll see a sign saying foot down here, the marshal will be screaming at you, foot down point. So make sure you bring the bike to a complete stop and put one foot on the floor. Okay, so then once you've done all of your 4 out and backs, there will also be a feed station on the bike course, and that will be detailed in your race information to let you know exactly where that is on the course. Also, while you're out on the course, you're treated to some really quiet country roads out here, but that's also a popular thing for people to go out riding horses on those. So what we're also going to do in your race information is we'll detail and provide you some links about how to overtake horses safely. We've contacted, or tried to contact all the stables, and we've been on Facebook groups to let them know that the event's going on. We've put up some advanced warning signs, so hopefully there won't be many, if any, horses out on the course, but if you do, in the race info it will detail exactly how to do that, overtake them safely. Okay, so after you've done your 4 out and backs on the bike, after 90k you'll make your way back to Grafman Water, and then you'll come back into the transition area, and now it's the opposite that's true for your bike. So make sure that you've got your bike racked before taking off your helmet. Get your run shoes on, and then you'll go out on the run course. So the run course starts from Grafman Water. It takes you, is it to the left first of all? So left out, go up to the across the dam, and then there's a turnaround point up at that end. You'll then come back towards the transition area, and this is where we'll have a water and feed station here. And then you'll go along that lovely yellow brick road until there's another turnaround point at the end. After that turnaround point, come back to the transition area again, and that's obviously you'll pass the feed station again. And I think it's a 10.5k lap, which you'll do twice. So you'll pass the feed station 3 times in total, and then the last time will be at the finish, where there'll be more water, and of course that medal for your finish as well, and any of the other race goodies and all that sort of thing. Okay, so once you've finished your race, you've got normally we just make sure that everybody's got the right helmet and bike when they leave. This venue here has got quite a unique situation where there's I don't want to call it a killer prawn, but there's some sort of funky prawn thing that goes on in the water, and it's a totally safe killer prawn.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's not a killer prawn for humans. Just to make that totally clear.
Yeah.
There's not some kind of Godzilla thing going on here where we're going to get big prawns like launching out of the water. Just so you're sure.
Yeah, no humans have ever been killed by this killer prawn. But the environmental want to make sure that anything that's been in the water is submerged in a disinfectant solution, which is like a Milton thing. So for anyone with kids and stuff, it's the same thing that you use for sterilising bottles and stuff. So we'll have 2 large bins filled with this Milton thing, which is perfectly safe for your wetsuits and everything. And you'll have to dunk your wetsuit and your swim hat into that solution before you're allowed to leave the transition area. Okay, so once you've done that, you'll head back to the car park, and obviously when you cross that path, there'll be marshals there, but just make sure when you cross that path that you look out for each other, because there will still be runners on the course when the first people leave. Okay, so that's about it from the racing info. I'll just pass over to have a quick look at Mike, see if I've forgotten anything. But
I think we're good. That's everything. I'm really excited about this one, James, because this is a great venue. It's been an iconic race for a number of years. This has. First time we're running it this year. I'm really excited to do it and making this grow into a huge race that it has been in the past. So we're really looking forward to everyone coming.
Yeah. Okay, if there was anything we've missed, try and just pop your question in the comments below, or drop us an email at events@activetrainingworld.co.uk, and we'll do our best to get back to you. before the race. But if we don't speak to you again, we very much look forward to seeing you here on June the 6th. Okay, take care.